Let's do it. Let go.
What's up?
What the hell did you say about single moms and how they should date?
Oh, I thought you said my single moms taste better. The other thing I said.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay.
What they taste like? Mango?
Fruit snacks.
And Capri Sun.
Yeah.
And Lunchables.
You know,
The pizza
ladies,
kind.
when y'all drink something, we can taste it. So y'all taste like Capri Sun, you know, with y'all little.
That's because you
snacks.
eat ass. Just go back to what you were saying. So single moms should what?
I think what would help the single mother epidemic, because all these women are out here and most likely a lot of y'all aren't going to find a husband. Hopefully you would, but I'm just being real. If the majority of you were to double up
Jesus.
in a household and just be like with one man, and then you got your little kid, little man, and then another woman has her kid, little Shay, and all of y'all live in the same house. Now, little man has a sister, little Shay, and everybody's good.
Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Fellas, buy this card game. Ladies, buy this card game. Buy about 2 or 3 card games. The main reason why people can't stay together isn't because they don't like each other no more. It's actually because their present family issues come up or their past family issues come up. But when you play Deeper Discussions, you'll be able to understand a person's family issues up front.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun. Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much-needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
And I think that would help the community, because now you have a family, a man taking care of 2 women and 2 children versus one woman taking care of a child.
So you think that women should just say, fuck they morals, fuck they standards, just go be in a polygamy relationship because you're not gonna ever get a nigga anyway?
Why are you
To
saying
those standards.
morals, though?
Because some women, because morally, some women, like myself, another person.
You're a married woman.
Right. I'm a single woman and another
And you don't have kids, so y'all don't count.
I'm a married woman, but you're saying that, like, if I don't want another woman to come join my house.
You don't I'm saying a man gets with this woman.
Just because I'm married doesn't mean that a single person doesn't have the same morals as me.
Can I say something to you as a woman?
It's different life.
So,
I'm not
Mr.
going to say
Lego,
struggle, but
as a woman, my standards are I'm not willing to share a man. That's my standard. Whether I have a child, whether I age, that does not change my standard. So you saying that I'm never going to find a man that meets my standards you just said that they're going to, or probably are not going to.
Yeah,
but I think that's false, because how many grandmas we know that had Uncle Elroy step in or whatever, somebody step in and raise these children that weren't theirs. There are great men out there that do not care. Some that already have children, some that don't have children, some that still want to have children with that woman, some that never want to. You can't generalize that.
Here's the problem, Bree. Imagine a man that makes, like, just say $400,000 a year, right? He can get whatever woman he wants. Say he has 2 kids or whatever from a divorce, right? But he's an empty nester and he has this big old house. Life is great, right? He can turn around and get with one woman and have a child with that woman and start over and turn around and potentially get divorced all over again and have to deal with that. And, probably can't see his kid with that woman. Or he can get with 2 or maybe 3 single mothers, move them into the house, marry one of them, or don't marry neither one of them. And next thing you know, he, as a good man, I'm talking about good, smart, affluent man, he's taking care of 3 kids and 3 women.
Hold on.
In a position where he is actually being more community-minded versus
And
just
community
being by himself. He's not community because he has all 3 women and they're his.
I gotta try to get.
His.
I'm trying to get into Mr. Let Go mathematics.
Okay.
Right.
So do you feel like a woman being a single mother decreases her value on the dating market?
On the dating market, yeah, not as a person, but yeah, it's on the dating market.
So what you're trying to say is because since her value, and this is your math, since her value is less, she should pair with another lesser value woman to add value and be a collective 8. To go to that man.
Yes.
Do you agree with that? I don't agree with his assessment.
But
sharing a man because they are single moms. I personally love single moms.
I love
That's
them. They
just
taste
me.
great.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I'm a single dad. So, you know, for me, I find them to be a little more understanding of certain situations because I got a kid too. Mm-hmm. That's my reason. And I don't want to share no chick. I don't want to share her with another woman. Mm-hmm. If I get married, that's my woman.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take in all of that, but I can kind of get what he's saying because even as a man with a kid, my value is down too.
He
you know what I'm saying?
He agreed with you.
As a single man with a child.
So my question to Mr. Leco, you said that would be more community minded, right? Mm-hmm. And that would be in the best interest of all. But what is it teaching those children? If it's community minded,
think about this
so
now.
Just having a father there matters more than what the values that the father is showing.
We're talking about a good man that makes great decisions, and that's a good father. And I did, just in my scenario, a man that has kids and their kids are grown, so that means he's proven himself to be a great father, right?
Yeah.
And now he has a nice life or whatever, and he's an empty nester, right? Big old house or whatever. And the typical man wants more than one woman. So this is a great situation that would be good for everybody, not only the man.
It's not good for everybody.
Wait. Not only for the man.
Hold on, you said what? Hold on.
How is it good for me and how is it good for the child?
I just came up with a solution that will help every woman watching, regardless of age, regardless of background. See, in my 7 years of coaching women, the number one thing that I hear in my coaching sessions is her issue or tumultuous relationship with her mother. So what I've done is come out with a card game that will actually help mothers and daughters come back together. We have to get to the source of a woman's pain, her inadequacies, her insecurities, and heal that little girl inside of her before she goes out in the world as a woman. I call Like Mother, Like Daughter therapy in a box. Therapy in a box is 50 questions for the daughter to ask the mother, questions that you always wanted to ask. And it's also 50 questions for the mother to ask the daughter. But when you're able to ask the questions that you always wanted to ask to your mother without her getting upset, without her pulling rank on you, the lines of communication are now open. When women are finally able to forgive their mother, relationships outside of the household would then blossom. Because for most women, there's a hurt little girl inside of her that never had an opportunity to be seen or heard. But all that stops when you buy my new Like Mother, Like Daughter card game. Order it now. The link is under this video. Click the link and let's start healing.
Well, I'm understanding him because
I want to talk about the children part.
Statistically, children raised in single mom households fare the worst.
Go straight to prison
in the United States. That is a fact. That's a fact. I'm talking about prison, dropouts, gangs, drug abuse, physical abuse, domestic violence, everything. So everything. As far as his point, I hear it, and what he's saying is, look, you get a structured man in a home, and somebody to set an example and guide kids, and also be a leader and protector and provider within
that's
a home.
That's a great solution for people who are okay with that and who think of that world. Right. But why are we going specifically to single moms need to do this? I know some bitches that's not mom. What about that?
So if it's about the kids, I don't think that a man is necessary in that instance. So like two women, if it's let me explain because we said that two-parent household is what makes the structure and stability. So if we were doing it for the kids, then why wouldn't I agree with two single moms teaming up and not necessarily have to be romantically involved, but hey, I'm a co-parent, we're gonna co-parent these kids together and we're gonna raise them up because we need more structure in this household.
There's one problem. You know why? Because they're gonna want some dick. And that because they're not together. So that's gonna be the problem. So now a man is gonna be introduced in the household that isn't even with the other woman.
That's not true.
Do you think in her scenario we are not like truly valuing the presence of a masculine father figure in that scenario?
Definitely. Like two women raising kids together, like in a household like that, without a man, like we don't need a man.
Like two children.
It's just not realistic. I think, certain things that men can give your kids.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And again, there's no such thing as all every absolutes.
Right.
That's why I don't like speaking in them. But from a majority perspective, there needs to be a man in the household because there's certain things a man can teach you that women can't.
I feel like with
So do you think
boys,
this situation makes sense, what I was saying?
It depends on how willing that woman is to do it. Right now, if the woman is willing to be in that, then you're right. But most women are not willing to do that, so she's gonna be in it begrudgingly, and then you're gonna feel that energy within the household.
Exactly.
They hard-headed? Just from the...
Well, I mean, it depends on what a woman says, bro.
Because they have certain values. That's okay.
I don't think they do. They just don't want to do it.
Now, this is me. Y'all gotta understand I'm the moderator, so I have to ask questions. That don't mean I believe what I'm asking.
I think you believe it.
Let me ask you this question.
Ask whatever you want to ask.
So, what's better or worse? However how you want to preference it. A woman in a scenario that may have baggage that decreases her value, not being able to find a man, period, and being one of the statistics of black women that never get married in their lifetime.
And their children end up going to prison.
Pairing up and being in that poly relationship and sharing what we say is a lack of black men. Which is worse? If you, in your head, would you be like, I'd rather be... I would rather be by myself the rest of my life than to be in a polygamous relationship sharing a man.
Sharing a good man, an affluent man, living in a nice neighborhood with a big house.
I think for me, I would rather be by myself than to share a man with another woman.
The ego of a woman.
I'm not okay with that.
The ego of a
It's ego
woman.
when it's a woman, but do you want to share your woman?
You're not going to be okay with me fucking the neighbor because I'm a woman.
Okay,
You're not okay with me fucking your homeboy either.
Let's say you were a single father. Would you partner up with another single father to bring a money-making bitch in the house to be y'all wife and help take care of y'all? Because you keep saying, you literally just said, when she said that, you were like, oh, ego. That's not ego, nigga. We got standards.
I don't want to share.
It's not about standards. If I gotta share? Let me say this. Once you put yourself in a certain position, and after a certain amount of years, what you have been trying or doing isn't working, your child is watching you, that's one thing, and your child is suffering every year that you fail in your relationships.
I think the child suffers when you don't love yourself. I think the child suffers.
Let me finish.
Suffers when they don't have a father figure
in their life.
That's not true. I never had a dad. I never had a dad.
You are an anomaly.
No, but it's so many. LeBron James didn't have a fucking dad, and he's successful. There's so many people that didn't have a dad that made it out the hood. That didn't go to jail.
Do you know the statistics of children that actually go to prison? It's 80% of children that go to prison if they don't have a father in the household.
Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, meet you at 6.
Fellas, buy this card game. Ladies, buy this card game. Buy about 2 or 3 card games. The main reason why people can't stay together isn't because they don't like each other no more. It's actually because their present family issues come up or their past family issues come up. But when you play Deeper Discussions, you'll be able to understand a person's family issues up front.
This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun. Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. Actually, these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like they ain't gonna get wore out. Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
Teaching your child.
What about that part?
Let me finish. Teaching your child to not stand on their boundaries. Teaching their child to not respect themselves. Not respect themselves. To do things that you don't agree with that make you feel lesser than is way more harmful than you having a man around.
Don't do something you don't agree with. I'm just saying, look at it as an option.
Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. I want to introduce this. First of all, I want to go back. Matter of fact, I'm going to introduce this and go back a couple seconds to a point that we discussed earlier. First of all, I am a monogamous person. But I feel like, and I'm gonna just say this, as a man, it makes sense for me because I've never looked around and said there's a lack of quality black women. I've never said that. Everywhere I look, I feel like that there is a woman that I can make it work. However, I constantly hear black women saying it's not enough quality black women. Right. So I guess my acknowledgement is not to say that I agree with your point.
But you agree with my point.
But I understand because honestly, monogamy ain't even our shit. It was given to us.
Right.
And we're not even, so that's that. But then to go back to say, I want to ask the men, do you think in that scenario that is more advantageous for our culture for people to choose to be alone than to be in polygamy? If that was your only choices, would we choose a polygamous relationship over raising your child by yourself and being by yourself for the rest of your life?
With 2 women, I'd take it.
What if it was 2 niggas? What if your only choices was you had a brother, husband, or be alone?
Yeah.
We can't.
That's what I'm saying.
So what I'm saying is,
the ego.
Wait. But you know what we got to
what we got the luxury of? Sheer numbers.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't subscribe to that bullshit because I feel like everybody comes with bullshit. And so no matter how affluent you are or how educated you are, you still got your own pile of bullshit. So it's about whether when my bullshit agrees with your bullshit. I don't think that no, it's not. And I don't think that it's an outnumbered number. I think that that's what they keep telling us so we can operate out of a scarcity mindset.
Y'all have the problem.
Men, because they want us to be like, let me just take what the fuck I can get because there's not much out here.
Let me tell you how I know men deserve.
I feel the same way about saying that black people are the minority. I feel like, fuck y'all, I don't think they're the minority no more. Like, stop playing with me.
Yeah, when you
I get what you're saying.
But look, however, when we do hear that narrative, it is mostly from women.
Because most of us have subscribed to that bullshit mindset. And what I'm saying is you get what you subscribe to, you get what you accept. So if I make up in my mind and I know for a fact that there is a quality black man out there who will value me and still treat me well and has his shit together and will still be faithful to me, then that's what the fuck I'm gonna get. Even if I did have a child, there's still grandmas out here that had good men come in and remarry them and be married forever and raise their first child or how many ever.
I get it.
My baby mama is married.
Just think about this. This is one thing that I just want y'all to think about.
Randy, my
baby mama is married.
Okay.
The woman that Jeff had 2 kids with, she got married after we.
And I'm sure that person is now a healthy co-parent in this situation.
But look, this is the main thing that y'all was talking about. Because I want to go back to what you said. What about a single dad? The statistics don't lie.
Man, fuck them statistics. They do, because how many niggas is taking statistics, doing that shit? I don't know. How many of y'all know filled out a statistic survey? None of us. So fuck them statistics. Okay? I hate when people say shit like that.
Have the same...
We don't even fuck with the police, so you know we're not answering questions on no paper.
Single fathers and...
Definitely don't be answering questions.
When's the last time you filled out a fucking census? Okay?
If a person has children, single fathers have the same success rate when it comes to parenting as 2-parent households.
I can see that.
The biggest issue.
I can see that.
And I say you got 2 parents. I think 2 parents is better than one, but it doesn't have to be.
And even 2 lesbian or gay parents have a higher statistic of raising children. So the worst. And you can take this however you want to take it.
Here we go.
The worst parent on the entire planet, statistical wise, is a single mother. So if we were to take single mothers and pair them up with men, and the man has to be with another woman also, guess what? Their children are saved. Crime literally goes down. Poverty literally goes down. Drug use literally goes down. Homelessness literally goes down. I can keep going, but I'm not.
You ever think about Thanos and be like, damn, that nigga had a point? I think about that with this nigga. Like, damn, near every other conversation, like, damn, you a necessary evil, huh?
I'm just saying.
But I do feel like...
Save the children.
I agree. This is my point. The doubling up doesn't have to mean that I sleep with a man. That's my whole point. I agree with the doubling up.
Let me push this forward. Okay.
If me and Randy both single moms and we live next door and we like, let's tag team this momhood shit together. Let's do that. I don't gotta fuck the same nigga she fucking.
No. Time out. Let's simplify this conversation. Let's simplify this conversation. A child is born. The 2 parents aren't together. Typically, who is the child better off going with?
The father.
Initially? No, wait. Pause. Because you motherfuckers cannot lactate, okay?
All right, true, AC. What's your thought process on that?
So I think that has to be speak. But just in terms of the stats and the outcomes and the results alone, the stats don't lie. The kid is more likely to fail statistic-wise with their mama than they are with their dad. It's crazy, but it's real. I didn't believe it either.
80%.
I went to research it.
I think that happens because more times than not, the dad is usually the authority figure that kind of keeps things in line.
Yes. When we go to, if you ever been to child support court, as a man,
y'all are defended.
You have no rights in there.
Yeah.
The woman gets the kid automatic as soon as the kid comes out. Even though they know the statistics, they know that they go to jail more and all the different things that Let Go had alluded to, right? They know these things when it comes to divorce, but the woman still most time 85%, almost 90% gets the kids, regardless of whatever, automatic. And the man has to fight for custody just to see his kids. Right. And the woman is more incentivized the less he sees the kids.
Yep. Hear me out. Because there's so many more women with primary care, the statistic gets skewed because there will be more unready mothers still taking care of a child.
For sure.
Whereas when a father typically has primary care, it is because he is most likely exemplary so could you actually say that the statistic will be remarkably better if
that's why I don't go off
the same number of fathers had the same number of kids or that mothers did?
Yeah. Let me answer that then. So I just want y'all to think about this. When you look at a man, right, and you know, you're going to date a guy somewhere, right, and you find out he's a mama's boy, is that attractive to you? Guys, when y'all date a woman, hold on, when you date a woman and you hear that she's a daddy's girl, what does that make y'all feel? What's the first thing you think in your mind?
Excited.
Excited. I got to live up to who her dad made her to be, right? So she's more respectable in every way, and I'm gonna show up to the dad's house with a suit and tie on. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. I'm gonna treat your daughter right, sir.
Right.
So the bottom line is,
I think it's the strength. Go ahead.
The influence of a father is seen past the child. The world sees that little girl or little boy as higher in regard. Yeah. So that influence is bigger than anything.
I think what they're saying, based off numbers and based off the conversation, yeah, you the shit. Yeah, your mamas did great. But you're an exception to the rule, not the rule. Right. And I think that's what they're trying to say. And I definitely can see that because...
And that's when I say, who made up these fucking rules that y'all are subscribed to?
Everybody didn't like you. You have a great life.
Let me get this.
If I'm an exception, it's 100 million more exceptions
out there.
Sure, you know what I mean?
I'm not demonizing you. I'm saying you had a great life.
No, but I feel like I'm not the only one like that.
Okay, check this out. All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let's progress the conversation. Listen, I feel like, especially about black people, man, we make the best out of any situation.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that in this country for so long. But I don't know if we should normalize having to make the best out of fucked up situations. Right. And we don't have to continue to do that anymore. So I do think we need to prioritize more two-parent or healthy co-parenting relationships with both parents there. If you are in a non-heterosexual relationship, both support systems, however you slice it up. But I grew up without that father figure there, right? And just personal for me, I feel like that's what led, and I said this earlier in one of the episodes, what led to me being molested as a child, because my mother had to work a lot. She would have people babysit or whatever the case may be, and that happened. And maybe it wasn't a fear that, man, somebody would come do something to me if I touched this kid, if my dad was there. Yes. But then I think about my anger, the way that I was doing things when I was younger. The respect I had for my mother wasn't necessarily
there.
And so I feel like me having a father there, but healthy father there, would have done me service. But I see your point though, because you have to ask yourself how many of those people would have been that healthy father, or maybe that person could have been an abusive father, or this, that, and other. But then it would go back, and this is the Pandora's box about it. Then it would go back to who are you choosing to have children with? Right. I don't think we should minimize the importance of father. What would you say having active fathers inside a child's life, whether they're together or not? What benefit would you think that would give to a child?
Bro, like I can speak from personal experience here. Like on my mama's side, I got like 8 male cousins, right? I think 7 of them been in jail. Then none of them had a daddy. No.
None of them had a dad.
I had my daddy in the house. You see what I'm saying? And I was running with him. We would kick it. We'd be going and doing a bunch of things that I can't really speak about on this camera, but in the back of my head, I still have my pop's voice like, hey, boy, you need to go your own way. You need to go
a healthy father.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you got that'll you more likely to say, you know what? I'm not going to go with y'all on this robbery. You know what? I'm not going to go with y'all to bag up. I ain't going to do that. I'm about to go do this. I'm about to go play ball, this, that, and the third. So when an active father is there and a healthy, keyword on healthy, when that's there, it deters you from making a bunch of stupid decisions that if it was just a mom who is more times than not super emotional, that's my baby, especially when it comes to a boy, right? Well, mama's way hard on their daughters and boys.
For sure.
So as a boy, when your mama is there, she really like just let you do what you do. But that's where the father come in and like, hell no, you're not doing that. Because I was your age. When I did it, this happened. When I did it, that happened.
Have you ever heard of the term sunsman?
Sunsman. Oh, yeah.
Where the women change.
Because you'll have a woman that's single or doesn't have a man. So that child at 7, 8 years old, 9 years, he becomes the man of the house. And she'll say that, you're the man of the house. Right. Or you say, this is my little man.
To that child.
We're taking
these. It's not fair to that child to not have a dad. Because that's the reason why she's saying it.
Why are you making... Wait, here's a real question. He opened it up.
Go ahead.
Why is it always on the active parent and blamed on the active parent, usually from your point of view, the mom, on why the other parent is inactive.
Because her dumb ass didn't require marriage. Because her dumb ass didn't require marriage.
In those situations, just allude to the point that you made, there are sometimes these relationships with sons and mothers that produces this coddling, this sort of weird dynamic relationship. And what happens is, and I think you mentioned on one of the episodes, is now these men grow up more emotional. It may not be in a traditional feminine way of emotions, but a masculine emotional man is a dangerous man because he hasn't had the proper discipline. And I'll say this for myself. I feel like my mother had to be probably more forceful with her discipline with me. Because her voice alone wasn't enough.
She had to earn respect.
Like whereas a man in his child's life, that voice can be enough sometimes.
Sometimes they ain't even a voice. I look at my boy a certain way, and he'll tighten up like, "Whoa, what I do?" And a mom don't. A lot of times, a mom don't have that. So when I meet a woman that's got a husband or whatever you call it, to me, because I've talked to him before, and when you go into a situation like that with a woman, you can't even try to correct the child or the way that she is coddling this boy that's going to disable him later on, and try to correct her out of love and be like, yo, you need to let him clean his own room. He's 13. You know what I'm saying? I've had women get pissed off at me for even suggesting that they change something with a boy. And so now when I run into women like that, because I like single moms, again, I leave them be, because that dynamic, that relationship is too toxic for me to get involved in.
Like, as a man in that situation, it puts guilt in that man. And it hinders him in his further relationships once he leave the crib. Because he always feel that allegiance to his mom. You literally have dudes out there who can't give himself to his woman the way he may want to. Because it's like, am I going to be slighting my mama in the process of this? You know what I'm saying? My mama used to us going, on dates or dinner every Saturday. But now my new girl may want to go do it. And now I got to, you know what I'm saying? Mother's Day, I'm used to spending it with her, going above and beyond. But now I got a girl, we done had a kid together. I can't necessarily give her 100% of me, because I got to make sure that I'm pleasing my mom. So that's what's not spoken enough. A lot of women.
I think that's really a popular thing in this generation of men too. What you spoke on as far as like it being emotional, masculine men, we're dealing with that right now. We're living that current.
Because of the single mother epidemic.
The strengths that a man will bring to a parenting a child needs to be complemented by the strengths a woman would bring. The thing is, sometimes if you are too much of that logical disciplinarian and they don't have that mother's hold and coddle and this at the appropriate time, now you get an overly hardened or non-emotional.
It's a beautiful cocktail.
So you gotta that togetherness. Now it doesn't. Now again, the balance. But what we are seeing is too many unbalanced situations because we are having children because we wanted an orgasm or a nut, or we wanted to use sex to fill a void, but we didn't have children as a result of a productive, healthy relationship in which we wanted to reward each other with this blessing that's a life. 30 seconds, you get the last word. We're not going to reply afterwards.
Okay, so when it comes to influence, I talk to my own daughters on a normal basis, all right? And one thing that I always understood, even with my ex-wife, my daughters will say something to her about whatever they're going to do or whatever. The first thing she turns around and says, "Ooh, what's your daddy going to say?" The influence. We haven't been together in over a decade, me and my ex-wife. She still, to this day, says, "Ooh, what's your daddy going to say?" You talk to your daddy, what's your daddy going to think? My influence is not just because I'm in my children's lives, it's the fact that she knows the influence that I have instilled in my children, where every decision my children make goes through me first. Men, decisions, money, where they live at, car they gonna buy, it comes through me. I influence my kid in almost every decision that they make.